Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bon Voyage Travel webinar. And with our esteemed guests, the Regent Seven Seas Cruises team. We're so excited to have you here tonight. We've got a lot to get to, and hopefully it will be informative for you. We've got a very special guest coming later on in the presentation that's going to dive into some big picture things, someone that you know the name of that's been associated with Regent Seven Seas Cruises for over a decade. So glad to have him back with us. But we are excited you're here, and I'm going to start with this. This is Bon Voyage Travel. I'm the president of Bon Voyage Travel. My name is Ryan Hansen. We're excited because one of our best partners in the industry has some exciting news that's coming. New class of ships, new way of seeing things on the ocean. We're really happy that Jared Evans is joining us today. But one bit of housekeeping before we get started. Due to time constraints, unfortunately, we're not able to open it up to a Q&A or a back and forth chat with you. If you have questions when you're ready to book, you need to contact your Bon Voyage Travel advisor. We've got some really cool offers and incentives for you to book with Bon Voyage today. If you don't have a Bon Voyage Travel advisor, there's an 800 number that is listed on my screen right now that you can call, or you can just reach out to us here at bvtravel.com. That's our website. That'd be a great place to start to find an advisor to work with. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Senior Director of Field Sales and Strategic Partnerships, Jared Evans. Jared is a good friend of mine personally, but he knows Regent. He's been with Regent for a long time. He's going to walk you through some of the highlights of Regent, some of the new things that's come along with Regent, and really get you inspired to take that Regent Seven Seas cruise. Jared, dude, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today, man.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate it. And yeah, our partnership goes back a long time. Been with Regent now for 21 years. Just super excited, super passionate about the brand itself and, the relationships that we have with you and the entire team at Bon Voyage Travel. It's phenomenal. And with that, inside and out and just the brand in general, right? Like we've gone through a lot of changes and we continue to evolve as the brand. So for many of you that, of course, have sailed with Regent and have booked with Bon Voyage, and for those of you that are out there that we haven't had the opportunity to welcome you on board, I hope this short presentation will kind of highlight some of the things that we do in terms of what we're delivering in that unrivaled experience. So right here, you can kind of just see a breakdown of what we're going to cover here today. But truly, the first thing that we'll delve into is what sets us apart and what is the difference between the Regent Seven Seas luxury experience and any of those other wonderful cruise lines that are out there, right? And we kind of break it down into four pieces. We start with the immersive explorations, the heartfelt hospitality, space, the luxurious space on board our ships, and then round it out with Epicurean perfection. So looking at our brand pillars and what it is, it starts right at the top, right? Unrivaled at sea. And that's truly what we're doing, is delivering that unrivaled experience. And I mentioned the four pillars that we're going to delve into a little bit further. And then at the foundation is that most inclusive luxury experience and what that means to you as the customer and the value proposition that Regent Seven Seas provides to our guests. The first pillar that I want to touch on is that immersive exploration component. When you talk about this, it's all about our small luxury ships that can get you into these more boutique niche type ports. And then while you're in port, we're able to take you into some of those smaller ports and really get you to immerse yourself within those destinations through our free unlimited shore excursion program or our Regent Choice tours, or even our culinary tours that we have available on our Explorer class ships. And then we also have our small group tours and go local tours, pre and post land packages, you name it. Bon Voyage Travel Advisor will be there to certainly assist you with adding that immersion component within these brand and our offerings can totally. So I guess I'm asked quite often, really, what is it that sets you apart in terms of these four pillars? And I always say it's the DNA. It starts right the moment that you walk on board our ships. It's the crew that's waiting there with that white glove service, ready to welcome you back to your home away from home, honestly. And many of you that have experienced Regent, you know this. Those crew members, they're welcoming you by your name, welcoming you back on board. It's truly phenomenal, the job that the team does on board our ships day in and day out, and they're there for you for everything that you need. Space. When we talk about space, right? So many of um, other competitors, I guess, want to talk about, crew to guest ratios. We like to talk about space to guest and the space that we deliver, whether it's in our public spaces, whether it's in our suites with the spacious balconies that we offer, the in-room, the suites in general, right? Just at 300 square feet, ranging up to 4,400 square feet. It's something for everyone in the space that we provide, not only in suites, but public spaces through the casino, through the pool, spa, fitness center, into the show lounge. There's plenty of space available for our guests and choice that's available to them as well. The Epicurean perfection side of it, when you talk about it, and I love this shot right here with the culinary kitchen on our Explorer class ships, leveraging that culinary kitchen and being able to offer to those foodies, right, that opportunity to really go into that kitchen and be able. There's 18 individual cooking stations and really kind of go in, and then, like I said earlier, with the shore excursion program, go into a local market, source the recipe that you need, come back on board, create that experience on board, and all the dining venues that we have available, which we'll touch a little bit on as we go in and look at the fleet itself and what those dining venues look like. For the fleet itself, we currently have 6 ships carrying no more than 750 guests, no more than 55,000 tons. The exciting news, of course, is Seven Seas Prestige, which will be launching in 2026 when she debuts. And again, Seven Seas Prestige is going to be the next class and kind of how the brand is evolving, which we'll touch a little bit more on. But again, it's 750 guests or less, right? So it's no lines, no waitings. It's that hassle-free, worry-free type experience that you're going to receive on any of our vessels in our entire fleet. Seven Seas Prestige Luxury Transcended, as I mentioned, she will debut in 2026. One thing I did want to highlight, of course, is the launch for Seven Seas Prestige. Seven Seas Prestige, we're extremely excited. She's going to go on sale in June of this year. So make sure you're contacting that Bon Voyage travel advisor. We have a pre-registration that we will have 2 weeks prior to the launch date. Just ensure that you're working with that advisor to get you on that list so you can secure one of those wonderful maiden voyages. With Seven Seas Prestige, it's going to go to the next level, right? So we're going to go from 55,000 tons to 70,000 tons. And while it's a 40% tonnage increase overall with Seven Seas Prestige, we're going to increase the guest count by 100. So that's only represents a 13% growth there. So think about all the space and all the opportunities and what we can do as we transcend into luxury with Seven Seas Prestige. I like always showing the suites on board our fleet, right? So this particular shot is, of course, the Regent suite on Seven Seas Grandeur. And this, of course, would be the 4,400 square feet of all pure luxury, that ultimate experience for those guests that want to indulge in luxury at the highest level. Seven Seas Mariner. This is a shot of the penthouse suite. I will point out with Seven Seas Mariner and Seven Seas Voyager, we have both of those ships going to undergo major extensive refurbishments in the fall of this year for Seven Seas Mariner, and then in the spring for Seven Seas Voyager. Again, continuing to invest in the brand itself and what the ships that we have out there, and really kind of bring them to that next level all the way across the entire fleet. So we're really excited about this. Talking about exciting, this is my favorite suite on all our Explorer class ships. So this is a shot of the Serenity suite on Seven Seas Splendor specifically. I love it because when you look at the bed that faces the balcony, right? Like, how long did it take? Well, it took till 2016 when Seven Seas Explorer was launched for an ocean cruise ship to have the bed facing the balcony. Obviously, it was a concept on the riverboats, but when you look at it from our standpoint and our space, there's no better way to wake up and just open up those blinds to that floor to ceiling sliding glass door with that balcony space and really looking out. Behind that bed right there, that's the length of the closet. That's the full walk-in closet that you have. On the other side of that, by the entry of the door there, the bathroom. Phenomenal. You have dual vanity. You also have the shower tub combination and a glass enclosed shower. Again, it's luxury. It's all about choice. And that's what we pride ourselves in at Regent Seven Seas. I told you I'd touch on the dining venues a little bit here on Seven Seas Grandeur, and really kind of and the Explorer class in general has all three of our specialty restaurants, which Prime 7, our steakhouse at sea, and then, of course, Chartreuse, which would be our modern French cuisine that's also on board. And then my favorite, Pacific Rim, the Pan American Fusion restaurant. So, of those three specialty restaurants, again, no cost with those. And we'll kind of go into that whole value proposition component. And then Compass Rose, beautiful, 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 open seated dining. Again, it's all relaxed, casual atmosphere when you're on board Regent Seven Seas. I always say it's luxury, it's upscale, it's not uptight, it's hassle free and worry free, and truly how we feel cruising is meant to be. So, where can we take you and working with your Bon Voyage travel advisor? Well, we cover a lot of destinations and we offer a wide range of sailings ranging anywhere from 7 nights to 186 nights in the World Cruise. So, when you look at your bucket list, truly wherever your compass points you, we can take you there. Now, I talked about the foundation and really what Regent is, and it's that most inclusive luxury experience, right? And a lot of people talk that they're inclusive. Well, we back it, right? So with from the shore excursions to the specialty dining, premium wines and spirits, gratuities, pre-hotels, valet laundry service, even the moment that you step on board the ship, you can send your clothes out for pressing after you've been traveling, abroad, and you have wrinkled clothes for the evening. They'll take that, and it really is a great addition, and those the latest addition to one of those inclusive excursions. Amenities. When we talk about the flexibility, and I always talk about choice, right? And that's how I see with luxury. Well, we launched in July of last year two new fare structures, right? We have the all inclusive fare, and then we have the ultimate all inclusive fare. What this means is simply the air option, the round trip flights being included in the ultimate all inclusive, and then you have the standard all inclusive. So, with that ultimate all inclusive, you receive those round trip flights, the transfers between the airport and ship, and then up to a $500 per suite private executive chauffeur. That can be used pre cruise, post cruise, during your cruise. You have the voucher to use that how you wish. When you look at the inclusions and what we are offering, right? So I touched on those regular inclusions. Then when you go to that ultimate level, that's when you're layering in that. And we found that, many of the customers, we previously had it with, air inclusive. Well, some guests wanted to use miles, some guests wanted to fly premium economy, some guests wanted to fly business class, first class. Well, again, now everyone has the choice at what they want to book, and that's what we're delivering when we look at that in our new fare structure. A couple unique opportunities and itineraries that we kind of, in listening to our travel partners and listening to our past guests, is these new immersive overnight itineraries. I encourage you to take a look at this. I know the team at Bon Voyage is well versed on these itineraries, but again, it's allowing you to spend more time in port, right? So it's in some of these itineraries, and here's just a sampling so you can see those. It allows us to immerse ourselves with 2 nights, 3 full days in some cases, right? So you can see how that city transforms in the evening by taking a shore excursion or the dining opportunity that's available in that port. But again, it's that mindset from traveling on an FIT type trip, but really layering it in the cruise. So you're still unpacking once, but you're seeing these destinations. So on a 12-night itinerary, instead of 8 ports, you may see 6, 5 ports because you're overnighting multiple times and really immersing yourself within these wonderful destinations. So truly a unique experience, and some of those will be launched in our next new season launch as well. So make sure you take a look at those. Partnerships and spotlight voyages, these are huge with us. The spotlight cruises, you have your standard, wine or food. Well, we have a couple exciting, unique opportunities. Aramco with Formula One. So we have our F1 spotlight available this summer as well. And then the Annika cruise. I'm a golfer, so truly this opportunity and this partnership with Annika Sorenstam It speaks to me. It's in June on Seven Seas Grandeur. There is still space available. There are some exclusive rates through Bon Voyage. So if you are out there and you're a golfer, I do encourage you to go through the team at Bon Voyage. She is a Wildcat too, right? So Ryan has that too, alum association. So again, having that partnership, having her on board, having the opportunity to play golf with Annika. And then while she's on board, she'll also do, some swing lessons, her clothing line. We have a lot of great opportunities out there. And of course, Fabergé, Sarah Fabergé, spotlight on Fabergé. For those of you that have been on Seven Seas Grandeur, the Fabergé egg. It's extremely popular. You've probably seen it. And we're really excited about that partnership. It was popular when she first debuted that first spotlight voyage, and we anticipate another wonderful sailing with Sarah Fabergé as well. Mentioned the length of the cruises, grand voyages, right? These grand voyages, they can range anywhere from 60 nights to 116 nights. I will say the grand voyages for the next launch will go on sale in May. So we have May, the grand voyages, and we also have the World Cruise 2028 on Seven Sea Splendor in 2028. Again, ranging from 127 days to 168 days. We still have the new launch for the one in 28. We still have space in 27. In 26, there is right around the corner, but there is still a little bit of space there. So if you're looking for that more exotic type itinerary and you have the time to get away, no better way than to do that on board Regent Seven Seas and let us deliver that unrivaled experience. The last piece that I'll touch on are our special offers. Again, for you, the consumer, understanding where the best value is, the best price, the value of booking with your travel partner as well, right? So they're able to pass along not only our public offers, but some of our exclusive type offers. So we'll touch a little bit on that. But the first offer that I wanted to highlight is our Enhance Your Escape promotion. So this is a choose one type offer, right? So you can either take advantage of the shipboard credit offer of $2,000 per suite on select 2025 voyages, or you can get yourself a free 2-category suite upgrade. So again, on some of these ships, right? So if you were booking a deluxe veranda suite and you went into one of those Serenity suites that we highlighted earlier, so paying a deluxe veranda for that Serenity suite, that penthouse suite on Mariner, right? So taking it from the concierge class up to the penthouse suite, you get more space, you get the butler. It all depends on what it is that you're looking for. So we allow the opportunity for the suite upgrade or for the shipboard credit amenities, which I'm sure, and we can probably touch on it later, is shipboard credits. Of course, I say everything's inclusive, but there are some great spa facilities that are available on board that you can utilize those shipboard credits toward. Our Regent Choice tours that we kind of touched on, there's a little fee for some of those. More of the private, more intimate type tours, landing on a glacier with a helicopter and so forth. So there are ways to spend that $2,000 shipboard credit. And hey, nothing else, and you have money remaining, always buy your travel advisor a gift upon your return home. The next promo I want to touch on is elevating your experience. So the business class airfare. This one is, again, we talked about how we remove the air out. This gives us the opportunity to layer this in as a public promotion. So on select 2025 Europe voyages right now, booking by April 30th, we have business class air add-ons of $12.99 per person each direction from our primary gateways. So a huge opportunity to not only receive these wonderful amenities and the sailings that you're looking at in 2025, but again, to take advantage of that business class air over to Europe on these select destinations. This also does come with the $500 chauffeur credit as well. So the value is really right there for you. Solo travel. Solo travel is big and continues to grow. And we see that, we recognize that. So we have single supplements on select departures as low as 0%. So it's typically 50% to 0%. It's not that you have to sail next week. There are sailings that are out there for the future for your traveling plans, up to 96 sailings to be between 50% and 0% holistically when we're looking at the availability for that. We do an incredible job on board our ships with solo travels. The first day, we have a solos meetup type gathering there. Our guests will mix and mingle with other solo travelers. It's a great opportunity for them to get to know each other, go ashore to immerse themselves through these shore excursions, find somebody to dine with in a group as well. So they really all come together through the social hosts and hostess that are available there on board the ship. So they do an incredible job. Or if you're just traveling solo and you just want peace, grab a book, read on any of our outdoor space lounges. Again, it's an incredible opportunity for our guests. When I talk about incredible opportunity, these are our non-published fares. These are exclusively with our friends at Bon Voyage Travel, offering up to 60% savings on select 2025 departures. A quick little sampling here of these kind of top five that I like to highlight and kind of covering some of the destinations. So whether it's Alaska, whether it's Northern Europe, whether you're looking for Asia, and just the Mediterranean. So, right, we have all of these promotions that are available to our friends at Bon Voyage. They can speak to you about these offers. Due to the savings, of course, there are some combinability restrictions, but they will run through all of that with you. Again, talking about value and price, whatever drives you to book a Regent Seven Seas cruise, we have it available for you. Talking about available to you and what we're offering for attending this webinar and referring your friends and family to us and to Bon Voyage. Any bookings that are made over the next 2 weeks from tonight forward, we will be offering what we call our cruise sales savings, or some of you may know, kind of like the onboard savings. So these are the savings by length of cruise, by category booked, and the additional savings that you have here. Now, this is combinable with, the Enhance Your Escape or the business class promo. So again, talking about combinability, I leave that to the professionals at Bon Voyage, and they can really take care of you on that. If you happen to book a 2025 sailing, we're going to double that savings that we showed previously. So you get double cruise sales savings by length, by category, on these 2025 departures. So any new bookings 2025 receive the double savings. Anything else on our fleet calendar that's open for the next 2 weeks receive the single savings. And like I said, the folks at Bon Voyage can get those bookings made for you and work with us to get those applicable savings applied. So with that, I am going to turn this over to my friend Ryan. Ryan, thank you for joining us back, and we'll let you take it from here, sir.
All right, Jared, thank you. You ran through a lot of good stuff, and kind of quickly to a certain degree, but we're mindful of everybody's time. You were inspirational. So if you watched this presentation so far and you don't want to sail on Regent, you don't have a pulse. Let's just say that. And if you went through those offers and incentives and you don't think there's a great savings for every single person out there, you're crazy. Double check that. Call us. We've got some great opportunities, and Jared ran through those. But without further ado, we teased in the open that we have a special guest, and we do. Not that Jared isn't special, because trust me, he is. But we are really excited to have the Chief Luxury Officer of Regent Seven Seas and Oceania Cruises. So he's the Chief Luxury Officer for the NCLH brands. Jason Montague, my friend, it is great to see you, man.
Ryan, it's so good to be on here, and hello to everyone who's on the webinar as well too. I couldn't be more thrilled to be with you all right now.
Well, I knew you would love this. My background is Iceland, and there's really a hidden reason for why I have that screen up. It's because my 25th wedding anniversary was this past summer, and we could go anywhere in the world. We chose Iceland, and we could sail or go on land. We could sail with any partner that we have. And you know this, we chose Regent Seven Seas and the Splendor. We had an incredible experience. As you know, we chose that to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. Jason, you guys have an incredible brand, man.
Yeah, it was a great choice, and congratulations, by the way, on the 25th. But yeah, it's an amazing region, and that's what we do. We bring people to amazing destinations, and that is a perfect example of, celebrating a milestone like you did on board Regent. There's no other better way of doing it.
Yeah, we love those milestones. Felt very special on board. And Jared teased this and talked about it, but the crew is super special. And I could give story after story, but let's dive into you a bit, my friend. You've had a few changes over the years. And for those that don't know your background, you were really in the room when the genesis of Oceana Cruises was brought to the forefront, and you helped build that company and that brand. Had an incredible run with Regent Seven Seas as the president, and then you took a little bit of a hiatus for a couple of years. I'm curious. Okay, so you took some time away. You were knee deep in the industry. You backed out. What'd you
Yeah.
maybe learn about yourself during the last, what, 18 months to 2 years, about yourself kind of looking away from the cruise industry?
Yeah, I can tell you my golf game is awful. I can tell you I definitely realized that. No, I after a 20 plus year run, I was, I did help work on the Oceana business model, very heavily involved when Oceana Regent came together in 2008. So I had a good 20-year run. It's a 24/7 business. So, my son was a high school senior in high school, so stepped down to try to make an attempt at retiring and definitely realized that retirement wasn't for me. And my wife was kind enough to uh, be very supportive and want me to get back to work. One, she loves cruising, so we did. We had some cruising that we did while during this 2 year hiatus. So we were on Regent in the Tokyo round trip Japan cruise. We did another one in Alaska with a group. We did Northern Europe with a group, and we have another group planned for the Mediterranean this year. So it did take some time to do some cruising, but what I really realized was how much I love the business, how much I love the people. And this goes through the amazing guests on board the ship, our crew that are on our ships and our offices, our partners, working the Bon Voyage travel team is just amazing. So being able to work collectively with yourself and the entire team, that's what I miss the most. I mean, it's people, right? That's what really makes the magic happen. And that was one of the things I missed the most. And my wife saw it. We were on board the Grandeur because her mother went on a cruise in November of last year, and she saw how happy I was. Ryan, I lit up. Speaking to guests that I knew, speaking to the crew. She told me to stop lying to myself and stop pretending like I was retired and get back doing what I love to do. And that really was the genesis, was being on board a Regent ship that really kind of honed in on how much I love this industry. So couldn't be more thrilled to be back working with you all.
Well, we are thrilled you're back. You've been an integral part of the growth of both of those brands, and particularly, we're talking about Regent. You've helped us really become experts in a true partnership, and I think that's shown through in our webinar today. Your point of view changed. You talked about kind of the inward things that you saw and what you missed about the cruising industry. Maybe from that perspective, you were out of it. You weren't in it to see everything. What observations do you have, kind of just in general, maybe about the cruise industry?
Yeah, the great perspective that I got was a little bit more on, I did some land-based traveling too, which I haven't done much of because I was so heavily involved with going on board the ships and meeting our guests and meeting and spending time with our crew. So to do some land travel, it just kind of really hammered home how great a value cruising is. And so really understanding and appreciating that, especially on region where we include everything, you don't have to worry about anything. When you're doing land travel, it's a little bit different and it's very expensive as you add things up over time. So I got a much greater appreciation of the true value that we bring to the table from cruising in and of itself. And then just really reflecting on how the industry has evolved over the 20 plus years since, we launched the Oceana brand and Oceana Region came together in 2008. And just seeing how all the what were premium brands have gotten bigger and all the ships being built these days are bigger. So the opportunity to experience the world in these small, luxurious ships is something that's really special. And I think you see a lot of trends where people are looking, ensuring that they're investing that time and money that they're doing, right? Because people, have money, but they don't have time unlimited, right? So you have to take advantage of. And this is where getting the value that comes in with the Bon Voyage travel partners, really kind of helping making sure they create and put guests on the right experience is such an important thing. So being able to kind of step back and see all of that was incredibly valuable.
Yeah, no doubt. You've been now back in the fold for about 30-ish days. I
Yep.
know you hit the ground running. You came back in with some ideas and thoughts, and Regent has been an incredible brand. It wasn't broken when you came back. So I know it's more about enhancements than anything else. But lay out some of your initial key objectives for Regent Seven Seas now that you're back in for about 30 plus days.
Yeah, so prior to stepping down, I was the president over Regent for an 8-year run period. So obviously know the team, know the brands very well. And so you're right. I mean, Regent has been operating great, but I am incredibly passionate on delivering an unrivaled experience throughout the holistic experience. That starts with the very first phone call when you're speaking to us, all the way to ensuring our collective guests get home and safely, and they enjoy that entire experience. So that includes everything that's off the ship. You're really immersing guests into the beautiful destinations we go, but ensuring everything we do is focused on delivering that unrivaled experience. And so that's always been a strong passion of mine. So it's an area that we're going to continue to lean on and ensuring, because again, back to that time and money, you want to make sure that you're investing that in the right way to experience the world, because we want to make sure we're capitalizing on those opportunities. So ensuring that we're always focused on that for our guests is going to always be our primary focus.
Shifting gears a little bit to maybe what's coming onto the new horizon. Here at Bon Voyage, you know this, we're a strategic partner of Regent. So we have been a part of the Regent Seven Seas Council and get a little bit more exposure to maybe what's coming down the road. Can you give us some insights? Because I know you're really excited about this entire new class of ships, the Prestige class, to really take Regent to the next level in luxury cruising.
Yeah, I just recently came back from the shipyards. So I was at the shipyards. We were looking at some of the mock-ups of some of the suite categories and some of the public spaces, and she's going to be a special ship. I truly believe that the size that we've gone to. So the Explorer class was 750 guests. We're 850 on the Prestige class. We started this journey prior to me stepping down, so I was involved in the very beginning. So to come back in now, right as we're still getting about to move forward. We're laying the keel. We just did the keel laying ceremony recently as well, too, in the shipyard. So very exciting time. She's going to be an amazing, the Explorer class ships are phenomenal. Jared mentioned that we're actually putting through an extensive dry dock and refurbishment program, Mariner and Voyager coming up. So those ships are going to look like they're brand new as well, too. So it couldn't be more exciting time. Prestige is going to join the fleet in the end of 2026. So a little bit more time, and we're going to have some interesting things to release in the future, but there will be more dining, leaning in more on the overall unrivaled experience we're doing throughout the ship. We're going to have some fun things to talk about as we move throughout the year together.
So in other words, stay tuned, right?
Stay
Stay tuned,
tuned
stay
is
connected.
absolutely correct, but it's exciting time. It really is.
It definitely is. It's kind of pulling back again at your view of cruising and maybe specifically luxury cruising. Give
Mhm.
our listeners and viewers a little bit of from your seat. Where do you see cruising in the next 10 years kind of evolving? What's changing? And I know you're addressing a lot of that with the new ship class in the Prestige class, but just in general, where do you see especially the luxury cruising market evolving in the next decade?
Yeah, look, I think there's tremendous opportunity as we move forward. Just what we were talking back at the beginning of how the value proposition on cruising compared to land-based vacation offerings is really second to none. And those people who have cruised know that. So it's still getting the newer guests who haven't either cruised yet or they're cruising on the big ships and they don't realize that for a suite of the same size in capacity, they're actually paying roughly the same to come onto Regent than they might be on one of those big ships. So really trying to continue to educate, the consumers to understand that this amazing way of seeing the world is right in our fingertips, and we're going to be expanding with new ships. So we have additional ways, more destinations that we can go to and traverse the entire world together. So it's an exciting time. And I think you're going to see it continuing to evolve, especially as the traditional players in the industry get bigger ships, that there's going to be a more demand coming in from the luxury side because of what we can really ultimately deliver to our guests at the end of the day.
You said it. It truly is an unrivaled experience. I mentioned it when we jumped on. my wife and I chose to sail with you. Again, we had options, many options because of our partners, but we chose to sail with you to not just celebrate a milestone, but because we knew it was going to be truly unrivaled. We wanted that all-inclusive experience, the no hassle, no worry. We really did see that, and I've sailed on Explorer, on Splendor. We've been on Navigator, so we do know the brand and we love it. You've heard, our listeners and viewers have heard so much about it. I'm going to give you one last chance, Jason. Put a bow on it. Why Regent versus any other option in the travel opportunities that are out there for people?
It comes back to our focus on delivering that unrivaled experience. And so as you're looking of trying to experience the world and making sure you're maximizing that investment, doing it with a partner who's trying to ensure that you have an unrivaled experience in every aspect of that journey is critically important. Because again, you'll never get that time back if you don't invest it the right way. So anyone who's looking to really see the world and have amazing accommodations, amazing service levels on board, outstanding cuisine, and not have to worry about one thing, your home is with Regent. So come join us and be part of the Regent family together.
I'm sold, baby. Let's go. Hopefully, our listeners and viewers are as well. Our thanks to Jared Evans for joining us and giving us his insight. Jason, your time is so valuable. We love the partnership and so glad that you were able to join us. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you all and everyone, the Bon Voyage family too. We appreciate everything you all do and look forward to hopefully seeing all the people viewing this on board one of the Regent ships coming soon.
You bet. Next steps are for you to reach out to a Bon Voyage travel advisor today. Get that incentive, take advantage of the offers in the market, and most importantly, get on board a Regent Seven Seas ship. You will not regret it. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye, everyone.